Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Wednesday, August the 4th, and starting on the daily chart here. So from this wave 4 here, we're just looking at 5 waves to the upside here for wave 5 of 3. So we're in that bullish trend, as you know. So let's go in and take a closer look at this on the intraday, starting with the 4-hour chart. Picking it up from wave 3 here, ABC for wave 4 here, and then moving higher. So we're on track. It's a little bit jaggedy, but everything seems to be going according to plan. So we've got this wave 4 here, and we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 coming into wave 5 of can you see that there, of that 3 there. So we're looking for the banks to do much the same, having 5 waves up, taking this higher. So between green wave 2 and green wave 3, we're looking for 5 waves as well, of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll see how that plays out. That might play out in group 2 there. Let's go to the hourly chart and pick it up into this space. So from green wave 1 and 2 here, we've got our long trade at covering costs here. We could, it looks a bit like a wave 4. I'll have to do a bit of work on this, but I'm going to just put in wave 1 here, and I'll have to put wave 2 there. I'll double check on that in a moment. And we'll do wave 3, 4 and 5. We'll come back to those later. So 7,500 here. The 7 is not important, but the 500 is important. And at that, we'll be looking at a classic trading levels pattern. So we've already arrived here, and we're looking at the reaction here. So we still need the first high above the level, and then a corrective pattern over here, and then another little classic trading levels pattern sitting in here for that. So you can see that we've got the reaction here, and we're looking for the first high above the level. So we could probably look at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, something like that, and then some sort of ABC coming back and checking that, and then moving off again. So that will give us another opportunity to go long here if you wish. Once this number here becomes the support, then we can bring our stop up and protect it further at that point. So that's all pretty simple. I don't know if the tick chart's going to give us much more. I can't remember what we were doing with that. Let me just check. Okay, so yeah, let's just bring in a little bit more data. Maybe a bit more. So from wave 4 here, we've been looking up at wave 1. Let me clear that out of the way. So all of that up there. It's all looking good. We don't really need these now, so we're looking at waves. Oh, I've got that differently there. That's okay. We'll check on that again. It's not giving me that one that I want. And 5 here. I'll leave that there. Just clean these up a little. We don't need that. Don't need these guys here for that. So we can also put here wave 3, 1, 2, 3, whoops, daisy, 4 and 5 to make 3 there. It's good enough for the time being. So probably just put in a trend line as well, just for a bit of definition. Now that we've got wave 1 and 2 in play, and we can copy that. Pop that over there somewhere. That will be our little pathway to success. And it's got to keep things a bit cleaner, so I'll just take these out. I'll leave that. Yeah, so that's where we are. I need to just want to double check on this here. Okay, yeah, no, that's cool. So let's just, so we'll look at this as the ABC here. So let me just double check, that's cool. And we've got, let's just take this on board here. Yep, so that's right. It was a little bit weird in that we've got 5 waves here. We've got one. Let's just go through that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. All of this the A wave, all of that the B wave, and 5 waves here for the C wave here. Unless I could count that differently. Can I count that as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then put this wave? Anyway, this will become apparent. Anyway, it's good. On the other chart, we've got wave 2 sitting over here. On this chart, we've got this wave 2 sitting here, so we'll just do that. This is impulsive here, this structure. So that's all good. Shouldn't come back below this one now. It could move up here and pull back 50–60%, and yeah, could do something like this and then move up from that point. But yeah, it's all about the 75 here becoming the support, and you just need to see that visually. But at the end of the day, you're looking for that first high above the level, and hopefully in one way or another you can see a second high, and that gives us our opportunity to go long there. What we'll need to do is just put in our levels. So we've got group 1, so 10, 20 and 30. Close enough. And then after 3 comes 5 in that world, in this world, and then 8. So all you need to do with the trading levels is just really consider the Fibonacci sequence 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then it's just really a rinse and repeat of that at all different degrees of structure. So 1 after 8, well, you go back to 1 again, which would be 10, and then 10, 20, 30, 50, 80, and so on. Okay, that's where we are. When you get support on top of group 1 here, a tested support, it can trade above there. That doesn't mean it's support. It's got to be tested. So yeah, getting support on number 3 here will sever the market being pulled back to the 5, and will be to the 500, the closest largest number, in this case 500, and it'll start from 3. It'll start looking at 5 here, and 5 being the second strongest number, that 50, the midpoint. So yeah, getting support on that 3 there is really critical. It's a handy little thing to understand, and then you just really need to understand what is support. We've all got our views on that. I've got my view on it. It is a price action and volume process, and you'll be able to also read that in the market depth if you're looking at the futures contracts. Okay, enough waffling. That's that. Let's check out the banks, starting with CBA here. So with CBA here, we've have wave 3 here, ABC for wave 4. The same. This pattern is the same as the ASX. Okay, so if we go back to the ASX just for a moment, let's just put that on 2 there, go back to, say, the 4-hour chart. Probably should go to, oh no, I'll just leave it there, it's okay. So we've got wave 3 and 4 there. So that was 17th of June or something from before, 17th of June roughly. And so coming over to CBA, that's the 17th of June. This low here was the 20th of July. 20th of July. And then we've got green wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. So over here, I mean, that's on a 4-hour chart, and the CBA is daily. So green wave 1 and so on here as well. So very close. Right, so yeah, up to the end of the month here for this, probably. Anyway, we just count the waves. We can put in targets and do this and do that, but you're always about 20% off at least in these sorts of things. So it's just good as a bit of guidance. But yeah, look, we've done what we're supposed to do here. We've got a position below the level. And we've got a position above the level, so that's all tucked in there. We shouldn't see this breached again. It is the risk in all of this is that this wave 4 is not finished, and this is all just an A wave here and a B wave here and a C wave over here. I don't think that's the case, because the ASX here is taken out the top here, right? So that's significant, where CBA hasn't taken out the top here, it's still lagging. anyway, just nice to know the relationship between those. And I don't know how it stands. I mean, when I used to trade the SPY, I mean, you'd look at, you know, the banks were important, and you'd also take the carry trade into consideration as well with all of this on, you know, when you're on that side of the fence. So ANZ, where are you? There we go. So really a little bit the same. That was on the 17th of June and July 20th. So yeah, they look different, but yeah, that's how they are. So let's see. So we're just looking up here. So in the bigger picture, we've already really not quite arrived at the 30, but you know, the 10 mil rule in building we could use and say that that's good enough, and we've had our reaction from that, and we're looking for the first high above the level here. So in this classic trading levels pattern, we're coming up to this point, you know, we're moving, we want to look for 5 waves moving up here. In most of the cases, this is wave 3, 4 and 5 here. Then the ABC is kind of like that, but we put the level in there and it just gives it a bit more definition, and we can use the price a little bit more, so it's just a little bit just helpful. So yeah, look, we don't have 2 positions here, but that's okay. Yeah, we should be pushing up into 30 there, so nice little trade, I guess. Okay, that's the finance. Let's have a look at all the resources. So I just do want to have a look at, before I go in that way, I just want to have a look at China. I feel China's got another little move down. The Hang Seng would probably be much the same as well, because this is the top 50 stocks. And if you talk about the top 50 stocks, you're talking 10 cents and everything else, you know what I mean? So, yeah, they need to play out a little bit there. And, I mean, this could get worse. This could all just be wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 down to here as well. So I should just put that there, just so we don't get lost in our own thoughts, you know. It just makes us a little bit more diligent about things, you know, understanding both sides of the coin is, well, I think it's critical. So that's China. I just want to have a look at India as well. We talked about India yesterday, and we have a nice little push up there for India. So if you're looking for a stop for this now, well, we can put in the stop just there for that. It's a bit loose and ready, isn't it? So we can just put it up just under that little bar there, sit it in there for the time being. The 1650 is going to be really important here, so that's a play where we've got a long trade here, we've got one here, we've got the stop here. I'll just put, is it this one? Yeah, definitely want to take a percentage here. Just think about this for a moment. I mean, we could end up as high as 1720 with all of this. That's why I'm sort of just thinking about it a little bit, you know. I think I think this is all right. I think we should just take the money off the table, actually, just here. Then I don't have to worry about it. But you do what you need to do. That will be at 1650. The market will trade higher, up in probably the 1720. Yeah, I mean, realistically, the extension's in wave 3. So wave 1 here and wave 5 will be roughly the same. Won't quite be like that, but we can, I think 1650, which is the medium level. So it carries the same weight as the 15 here. Unusual number, but yeah, so let's just see that out. But I think there's another, you know, all these markets have still got, we're heading up to this number here in a lot of markets, and yeah, so we just got to see that play out here. I mean, if I compare this to the US markets here, it's like this here. So it would have, well, I'll probably go to the 4-hour chart just to make it a little bit easier, just so you can kind of compare them a little bit and try to understand what I'm doing. So from wave 4 to wave 5 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so, and to finish on this wave 3. Do you know what I mean? So this is the NASDAQ. So yeah, that could take whatever that takes, the end of the month. So yeah, we could go higher here for this, but we'll take it to, I think that's a reasonable. We've had our piece, more than our piece share of the pie here, so that's all good. So okay, over to resources. So I want to start with iron ore. So this is just a 4-hour chart for iron ore. So we've got the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave, and we're looking for 5 waves down here. I think there's one more little move down here, so I think it's on the tick chart that we're looking at this. Actually, sorry, I just want to go back. I just noticed something. Okay, I'll check on that. It's just I noticed another count which takes us. I'll just leave that there, but I'm still thinking one more down, but it could be more now that I've noticed that. But let's just I'll have to do some work on this. I've just been a bit lazy. Five enough? Okay, so yeah, so we're just looking down from B to C. So I was looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the first 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 here and 3. Could put wave 4 and 5 there, but I won't do that. In fact, that looks like I need to redo that a bit. So I was looking at this being corrective, and that looks good now as being corrective, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? There may still be more to it. We may get some sort of move up to here first and then down or something, but in one way or another, we still need to be down at that 900 area there as well for that. So we're not out of, you could probably get 5 waves out of that, really. But anyway, we wouldn't turn long unless this number here became the support. So we're not finished. I'll have to do some more work on this. I need to study that. I'll just write that down. Okay, another little job. Okay, but anyway, still sort of bearish, but it's not. It is affecting FMG and Rio to a point, but not as much as I thought it would, which is good. I want to have a look at crude next. I'll have a look at gold because it's on my list here. Nothing really happening with gold. This is a 2-hour chart here. I think we're in some type of triangle pattern here. I don't know for sure. I can see that it's messy. There's other ways to count this. This is, this is just a, there's nothing obvious here at this point in time. We haven't got the 1800s, the minor level. That's the number that we're working with. We just haven't cracked support on top of number 3 here, which would give us, once we get support on this number, then it severs the pool of the closest largest number, in this case this one. We don't have that yet. Yeah, so we're just still in a rock and a hard place. I don't think we should sweat it out. We just need to have a cocktail or something and wait it out. Okay, so crude oil is it's turned, continued to turn down nicely. So we pinned that top nicely, I must say. I have to give myself a pat on the back. Yeah, so there's going to be resistance on the way down, of course, in lots of places, but the obvious one is the 61.8%, which is kind of where it is now a little bit, and it has bounced off that low there. It has obviously hit it and bounced back. So we were looking for that 5 waves down here, but I'm going to just remove that for a second. Let's just go to the intraday. Have I got it on the tick chart? Okay. Oh, well, okay. We don't need these here now. Well, it looks like 5 waves there already, doesn't it, coming down? But that's the tricky thing, if that's 5 waves coming down, then we would look for a rally and then another 5 down. I just need to check that again. This top over here will be important as well. So this could all just be wave 1 here. That's what we need to be careful about. Okay, yeah, no, that looks all good. So we don't really need these over here, so I'm just going to borrow these for the time being. I mean, could it be the bottom? Is it, where's wave A? Let's just go, let's just get in a bit more data here. No, I still got further to go. I was just seeing if I could see something else, but in fact, we don't need those either. Less is more. Okay, so let's just keep an eye on that. This will be the... I don't know about the A wave really, I'm just guessing for that, but it doesn't really matter. We just got to see if we're going to get this thing here, you know. Got those, we don't need these then. It's all good. Okay, I'll just leave it at that for the time being. Let's just go back to the, now that we can see that, so from wave B here, going down to wave C here. So an A wave, a B wave and a C wave at this stage. That will probably create the bounce on there. So a third wave here could rock any oil stocks, energy stocks to a point. Okay, let's just put that back. Where are we daily? So it looked like, just roughly, that looked like it was wave 1 there, wasn't it? Hitting the 61.8%. So it would have that corrective move there. Wave 3 would probably come down here, bounce off that as wave 4 here in three waves or something for a while, poke down here a little bit further somewhere. It could poke down here further, I don't know, and then up from that point. So we'll just see how that plays out at that point. I mean, we have to be careful about wave 4s. They can get, you know, complicated. I should call wave 2 male and wave 4's female. I'll probably get in trouble for that. It's just our ability not to understand or to listen, I suppose. Men don't listen. Okay, so that's that. And let's cruise on to copper. Copper. Yeah, this is where we're definitely in this this wave 4, but I don't know if I got this right. We could be in some sort of triangle pattern here, because what's bugging me here, I can't get wave 1 out of this, you know, or wave 2 here. It's just better suited to an ABC pattern, and you could put wave A here as well for that, and there's a few things that you could change there. We've got 5 waves there. It's hit the box, so I'm putting it as wave B. But the thing here is that there's a good case that we could just have one more low here and move up from that point. Obviously, there's going to be really good support at 9.5, 5 being the second strongest number. It's just creating its own story. So we'll just see how this plays out. Yeah, Chris could travel sideways more. I'm just not really getting a nice impulse wave down here with all this here, you know, all this move across here. I could, you know, I can look at it like this first move down here is wave 1, so to speak, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 2, then down for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But it could also be an A, B, C to this point. I think there's still one more little low to go in here. So I won't go in there on the intraday and just yet until it sort of settles there a little bit more. But yeah, a bit of a puzzle that I haven't quite worked out. I mean, the other interesting thing here is this, as a wave 4 here, it has moved down to its 38.2%. So because this is in 3 waves here, and this is in 3 waves, we're getting, you know, these 3 waves can just kind of keep repeating for a while. So I don't know what's going to come out of the box here. So we just need to be extra careful. And as I mentioned before, if we get a nice tested support on trading level 1 here, major trading level 1, 10,000, well, then we can expect it to move up, you know, high, make new highs at that point. But it's certainly not there yet. Could we look at this as wave 1 and 2 here and moving up for wave 3? Yeah, sure. But then, you know, we'll have to rearrange this here, which is pretty messy. Well, then, you know, my mind went to, well, could this be, you know, should this be, should this be something like this then, you know? Having wave C over here with wave 4 on this low. So I have been thinking outside the box. I'm reasonably good at that. There's always room for improvement, but I just say the bottom line is I don't know. Okay, so we'll just we'll leave it. It's not going to bother us. It's quite stable as it is. Really, in the bigger picture, what it's doing, it's all about this number here. This is the sticky number, and it's just moving across that, above it and below it in the bigger picture. So we'll just leave it for the time being. What else were we looking at in this? So that will just take us, I'll take this over to the Australian dollar now because of this. And this is another little sticky point here as well. We may have a low in here, and I was going to look to go long above here, but I'm just going to rest it out one more time because I think we've got one more little move up here and then that little top there. So that top there can be this wave 4. Here before we see wave 5 down. Once we've got that in, then we'll go long above that top, okay? Because you just got to be, I'll have a look at this, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. But the other interesting point here as well is that needs to be noted. Let me get a horizontal line. If that's wave 1 there, we don't want wave 4. It's okay to have a little bit of overlap in derivative markets. Well, when I say derivatives, I mean leverage markets. So it's okay to have that a bit, and this is big enough and ugly enough to be a wave 4, but we don't want that level there finding support here. Then definitely, you know, something's wrong at that point. But this here, yeah, let's just go maybe what can we see? A 15-minute chart could do the trick. So this is the pattern at the bottom here, all right? So I can see from this low here, we've got 5 waves up here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the 3rd wave, and the 4th wave and the 5th wave will be in here somewhere. This is a little bit ugly here, but the thing here that is that this move here appears to be corrective, even though it's come really deep. So it looks like it wants to go up higher from taking out that top there. That gives us 5 waves here. I mean, we could have wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave here, but it's not like a C wave here. It's like another B wave. We can get 5 waves out of this one here as well. But you'll just need to be a little bit philosophical about it, because I'm not going to worry about the spike here. I'm just looking at this as 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So I just want to look beyond that spike. But we don't have 5 waves down here. This is more like an A wave, an A, B, and C for the B wave, and then coming down here for that. So this is like a B wave here. So it's really telling me that this is all corrective here, but can go higher. I mean, if you are long in this, then the stop can just go here for the time being. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to look at this as wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then up for 1 and back for 2 and moving, you know, and then the next trend really sort of stepping out here for this. I would call this like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, but that overlap there is like full on, so it's not really like that. So I'm just going to have to wait. Let's just see how this plays out. One of the things that I can look for is that at the 74 here, if we get a move up here and then we come back at that point, then we can use these highs to go long on at that stage, because would be really interrupting wave 1 at that point. So it's a bit like copper. They're both the same. They're not quite clear at this stage. So I will leave it at that for that. I do want to have a look at the US dollar. Not a lot of change in the US dollar. This is a 4-hour chart of DXY, and once again, so this is the inverse to the Australian dollar. So once again, we've got wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C here for wave 4, and I feel like we've got a top in here, but I can't prove it because I need 5 waves down here at this stage. And yeah, so from here on the 4-hour chart, I'm just going to go to the 15-minute chart. I'll probably have to take this 1 degree higher here for this. So where I've got this green wave 5 here, 4 and 5, I'll have to use that here as wave 1, 2, which I'll do now. Okay, so I just put those green waves in. So we're going to call this green wave 1 here, green wave 2 here, and then we go down here for green wave 3 and 4 and 5 to make this wave 1 here, and then we go back for wave 2 over here. And so in this, from green wave 2 here to green wave 3 here, we've got this one here where we've got wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and 5 here. So we've still got a bit more to play out with all of this. Like, I'm not even sure if we're going to get 5 waves here. Okay, so that's the other point. So that's what we're gunning for at the moment. It looks like here that we've got this as an A wave here, then an A, B, C for the B wave here, and then we're looking for wave 4 here. And we could have wave 4 sitting on top of that because that's 5 waves there. But if that's not right, then we'd be looking for, well, another 5 waves up here for this. So if that's wave 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, and 5 up here for this. Something of this, something like that, you know, for this wave 4. So this, we've got to be, we want it to just be nice if it drops from here, but because this move here is corrective, that means we should take out that high there, or at least come to it. That's okay. That could do the trick there, that 5 wave move. If that's not there, then we have to count 5 waves up and put it here. So I'm not sure what we should do with this particular move here just yet. Okay, well, that will become apparent shortly. You know, this could be a wave C down here, and we move up from this point. This is the other point. So I don't know if we got a top in yet. I'll know if, well, as a corrective move, it's not really finished either. It'd have to be at green wave 3 here at the 61.8% retracement level. So we are coming down further, which can put the Australian dollar higher. Okay, let's have a look at stocks. So BHP in the US, so it was up 1.7%. I mean, not huge or anything, but it's good. It's sticking to 80, which is a major trading level. It could be that we've still got wave D here and we're coming down for wave E. I don't think it's the case when we compare this one to the Australian BHP, because all of this on the Australian BHP has got sort of, it's much higher, it's trending much higher, as you know. But we'll give it a little bit of time. We don't have support on 80 yet. We've got a triple top here. So if it did come down here, Gan the man would say it would always be the fourth time. When it tests the fourth time, it would go through, which would always confuse people, because they would already been beaten up, you know, on the previous top. So yeah, but just to let you know, when you see a triple top, it's the fourth time that it goes through. The other point that I'd like to mention is double tops are never the end of the bullish trend, of a bullish trend. Okay, so we're not finished to the upside, so we can just hang on, you know, and that's what I'm doing, as I've got a position in BHP. So we talked yesterday about traders that were using CFDs, and if you were using CFDs to trade this up and you're paying overnight financing and things like that, I didn't want this market coming down and taking you out, so we put in a stop there to take those out. So if you've been a CFD trader, then you're out of the market. If this top goes off here, then you can also go back into the market. You could also use this second top there, get a really clean breach of that. But I'm just going to leave that up the top there for the time being. And the reason we got stopped out here, because we were looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this. Well, 1 to here, 2 to here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the third wave. Fourth wave here hasn't taken out the top of wave 1 here, and then we've got 5 little waves in here. Now, of course, it can continue to build up here, and what we've been looking for here for the share traders kind of folks is that for share traders, you know, short-term share traders, you don't want 52 becoming the retested resistance. That's why we've got this second stop here. I've got a position in here, and I won't get out of this stop either. I'll be holding through all of this. But what I'm looking for next is the 53 here to become the tested support. Now, you could see here that if you think of this, our pattern here, classic trading levels pattern, is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the ABC here, and then going up here. So if that's our 53 going through here, where are we in that? So we could say that, well, we arrived here, we reacted here, we've got our first high above the level, and now we're going into the corrective phase here. So then we can look to go long. If you go to a tick chart and get support on 53 again, then with another little classic trading levels pattern, well, then you're on your way to building higher there. And the other thing here too at 53, so we could also, if these are minor levels, then we can drop down to sub levels. So if you get a support on 50, what would be group 1 of 53? So when we're talking about 50 here and we're talking about group 1, well, 53 would be the top of group 1, wouldn't it? And we're looking for support on top of that. If you wanted to refine it further, what's subgroup 1 of 53? Yeah, 53.30. So if you see on the intraday tick chart 53.30 becoming the support, then that's going to take you to 53.50, which would be the next level, which you can also add on to if you're a day trader. Okay, that's enough of that, and we'll look at FMG, Fortescue. Here it's dropped here. This is what I was concerned about with the BHP for what's the name. So, but here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's sitting at a 61.8% mark here. It's had its shock drop, and now it's spent the last 2 days just really consolidating at that level. So we'll just leave it there for the time being. The stochastics are setting up. As I said yesterday, it will take a good few days. It will take 3 to 4 days to set up. So we still need that. This other line needs to come down here further for that. But yes, it's getting there. So we're not going to panic. We're going to leave the stop out of the way for this. And Rio will be much the same as FMG, but it's much steadier. So there's Rio here. So yeah, it's also, wherever you see a 3, so this is 100 here, major level, then the minor levels are 1, 2, and 3. So those 1, 2, and 3 make up group 1. So we're trying to find support on top of number 3 here. So we've hit it, we've reacted. This was a big reaction. The wind is taken out of the sails here a little bit on the second one, and we've got this nice accumulation process through here. So it's giving a much better foundation from that accumulation process. So yeah, we should find support. And even, this will move down this much. This one moved down less. This one here can move down less again. And move up from that point. So we're looking for something like that. It's just a little bit messy in here for this, because when we counted FMG, for example, we could count this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming back here. So this is it here on FMG. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So beautiful and nice and clean, isn't it? Then pulling back. This one here is, do we look at it like that? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, and then pulling back? I think so, but they're just a little bit warped. So I need to be a little bit philosophical at times to bridge things, pull things together a little bit. But that's those two stocks. What else do we normally look at? I always feel like I miss something when I'm looking at this. Yeah, okay, well, that would do the trick, I think. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.